Good morning, Sam LG here. This is my first video ever, and by the title, you probably know what it's about, so let's just jump right into it. So, giving you a little background info first. When I was in high school, my high school offered five languages: Spanish, French, German, Japanese, and Mandarin. I realized some of these languages might be a little harder to learn than others, and I thought, why not take Spanish? Because I heard everybody said it was the easiest one to learn, so I figured why not. Now, as far as learning the language, I'm not necessarily going to be talking about how to do sentence structure, grammar, and stuff like that. It's more going to be about sounding out the words. Because this was a huge issue to me, and I figured this might be a huge issue for a lot of other people too. So, there's many ways to sound out the words. The professor or teacher, in my case, they had us, read and read out loud, basically, the words we were trying to read out of the textbook. We would watch telenovelas in Spanish to understand, or hear what words should sound like. We had written tests, we had communication tests, and I realized that none of these really helped me to pronounce some of these words or phrases or whatever it might have been. Now, in college, I faced pretty much the same thing because I chose to learn Russian. And again, it was really hard to sound out some of these words. Now, Armenian and Russian were the languages I knew how to speak first before I knew English. And, jumping back way back then, I actually kind of phased out my Russian. And that's why in college I figured, it's a really nice way to incorporate that back into my life. So I chose to take Russian, and I had a hard time. And hearing other people speak Russian in the class made me realize that a lot of other people are having the same issue I am. So what the teacher in high school or the professor in college had us do was, practice it in class. We would have skits. We would have many other things to do, but the main thing that they both told us to try is to go out into the streets and practice. I know that could be really hard for some people. I know it was super hard for me. Well, for one thing, trying to find in a really big city a Russian speaking family or a store, or it might be easier to find somebody who speaks Spanish. But at the same time, it's kind of intimidating because you think that you have to, or in my case, I thought I had to sound like somebody who spoke Russian or Spanish would sound like. And that's when I came up with this really easy way for me, and I think it might be easy for other people too, which is why I'm posting this video. What I did was, in Spanish and in Russian, for both times, I went onto YouTube. I looked at music or music videos that I found interesting in those languages. So I found one in Spanish, I found one in Russian, I found a lot actually. Music videos, songs, whatever it may be. And I then kind of went through and tried to sound out what the artist was singing. And I realized this was a really fun way for me to learn how to pronounce these words. I love music, I love learning languages. I know learning languages might be tough, but the music kind of helped me work around the whole pronunciation thing. So what I would do is, at home, I would pull up the song on one page, I would pull up the lyrics on another, and while listening to what was going on, I was also following the lyrics on the lyrics page, and I found that it was a really easy way for me to both learn the alphabet, learn the different tenses in all the languages, and it was really fun to try to imitate and copy, sound out these words that the artists were trying to say. And it was a lot of fun. I did this in the car most of the time, and a lot of people around me might have seen me, jamming out and whatever, going crazy. It was a lot of fun for me, and I think it might be pretty fun for you guys too, actually, to try this out. So in your room, in your car, wherever it might be, it it doesn't give you that same kind of intimidation as talking to somebody who speaks that language already, because there's no expectation. It's just you, you're in your car, you're in your room, wherever it may be, and you're just basically doing karaoke, kind of. Except the artist is singing and you're just trying to copy along with them. So, I mean, I know there could be some side effects to this. I realized a few of these side effects when I was doing this. The main thing was when the professor or teacher would ask me, repite por favor, or not ask, but when the professor would say, de donde eres, or something like that, I would basically sing my answer. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and the whole class kind of got a good laugh out of that. And I realized it kind of helped break down some of those issues that I was facing, in that, pronunciation is tough. It's even harder and kind of intimidating to speak up during class. But when you're singing something, it kind of helps kind of ease your way into it. Spanish, Russian, same thing. I mean, I had a few issues with singing my answers, whether it would have been during a skit or if the professor asked me some kind of a question. And I kind of realized that, yeah, it's, you're singing something and everybody's kind of laughing with you. They're not kind of laughing at you, which was kind of the issue I was thinking about / kind of being intimidated by when, or if I was to go out and talk to somebody else. I mean, some other side effects, I don't know. I don't know what other side effects there was. Those were the side effects for me. It was just a really fun way for me to learn a language. And I think it would be really fun for you guys too. Especially for, again, those of you who like to listen to music. I mean, each language has its own version of songs or whatever. And you just kind of go through, find what you like, and just kind of try to copy along with what they're trying to say. I know I'm doing the same thing right now with, what languages am I learning right now? Slovenian, Serbian, so many others I can't think of right now off the top of my head, but the same idea. I'm just downloading songs that I like, songs that I like the sound of, not necessarily the lyrics, and then just trying to copy along with what, the artist might be singing, and also having the lyrics on another page so you can follow along too. Greek, I just remembered another one. Greek is also really fun. But yeah, I really hope this helps out some of the people out there who are having trouble learning a new language. I mean, it makes it really fun. It makes it really interesting, especially, again, for those who like music, learning a new language. And I'm not going to try to give any of the artists' names just because I don't yet know the YouTube copyright stuff, but again, hope this helps everybody, and I hope to come out with more videos soon. Please drop likes down in the menu, wherever it might be, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.